So on Canvas, we talk about numbers as well, and it's very important to understand what could be a source of revenue for us. So in the case of Netflix, we know that it is a typical subscription model. So there is a monthly cost that is borne by each individual type of user to then be able to be on the platform and view what they like. We also consider that Netflix has later opportunities. At one time, they used to do DVD rental, and so it was another possibility for Netflix. We did not go on the online, but there was the possibility of DVD rental, and so they were completely different models because although we are always talking about the enjoyment of a content, the first model was a physical activity that has certain costs and a totally different logic. In the other case, there is the online with a logic that is also easier to understand. What we can foreshadow is that Netflix is also selling the individual content it is creating. Netflix, to keep its customers on the platform, is always creating new content. This creates the possibility that Netflix later intends to sell these types of content to other companies and make revenue. We always consider what the opportunities are for Netflix. Clearly, they could also do partnerships with certain types of businesses to try to increase this part of the turnover. In the subscription and sales part of individual content, we understand that the potential is good. Tesla sells cars. We are trying to do something that seems quite simple. We are trying to sell cars directly to the public. And then, of course, there are other mechanisms like the charging of the individual car that can lead us to have columns that are installed. And then this activity could be a further source of revenue. There is the part where Tesla tries to sell batteries that could also be useful for the home. We consider that in this part of the canvas, we talk about the revenue sources that are there at the moment, but we could also try to imagine already a small part of the future, because in the case of Tesla, that where we are telling that electricity and the sustainability part is fundamental to everything. We could also think that Tesla in the future could also sell something related to the home, for example, household appliances, or could think about expanding into other different areas. Discuss with your team which ones might be useful as revenue sources right now, and which ones might be more useful at a later stage. In the case of Facebook, we know that a lot is done by the advertising part. When we go on social platforms, when we have sponsored parts, Facebook takes a small fee that allows the platform to pay back the individual costs. This activity has become a very profitable business. We consider that it is one of the key parts, but also that there are other kinds of mechanisms like charging for certain kinds of targets. You can charge if people sell something. You can charge if there are a few people who see a certain type of ad, but there are also many other types of resources. Some of the features of Facebook are paid for by developers. There can be different types of opportunities that are focused on what the individual platform looks like. Also, from a marketplace perspective, potentially Facebook could take percentages with an internal payment. At one time, Facebook also made a lot of money from games and was famous for that. It was one of the models that brought in the most revenue because the people on the platform, they had to do something, and so they often paid for the games, and a percentage of the payment went to Facebook. So consider that such a platform is so diverse that it certainly has many kinds of opportunities. In your case, the suggestion is not to have such a complicated list of revenues, because then it will become very difficult to calibrate which are the main ones.